to Comical Opinions. This is a review of Gunslinger Spawn number 28 from Image Comics. And in this issue, Gunslinger is confronted by a friend from his past in the Old West who's been turned into a cybernetic assassin and forced to find out if his old friend is now a new foe. But before we get started, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you. So now let's get into the credits for Gunslinger Spawn number 28. This issue was written by Todd McFarlane, art by Dexter Soy, which looks fantastic, by the way, colors by Ivan Nunes, letters by Tom Orzechowski, and the main cover, or cover A, is drawn by Paul Renaud. So when we last left off with Gunslinger Spawn, he was decided that he was going to go his own way and not necessarily follow the path of the powers that be. And he made a deal with the shaman to take over healing or helping Taylor, who had fallen ill. And he said, well, I'm done with being the spawn for everybody else's purposes. I'm going to be my own spawn. And I'm going to do what I set out to do originally, which was to avenge the death of my sister Amy. In the course of his travels, he encounters this friend named Carl, who he'd met back in the Old West, and they were traveling buddies and helped each other in an assortment of Old West style cowboy shenanigans. And Javi had assumed that Carl was long dead, but here he is, alive and well. But what it turns out is that Carl has been made immortal through the machinations of Cliff Truman, and now he has a cybernetic body and has been convinced himself, or he's been brainwashed into believing that Javi is a menace and was responsible for the death of Carl's family. So that's where we left off. Now, picking up in this next issue, Javi recognizes that Carl has him dead to rights. He's not the strongest spawn around, and he doesn't have the powers or the capabilities to defeat Carl in a head-on fight with the massive bioweapons that Carl has at his disposal with his new cybernetic body. So what he does is he starts getting Carl talking about how he came to be the state he's in. That's where he learns about Cliff Truman's involvement, about making him immortal, and how he learned that Carl basically had to wait out history for the technology and the level of scientific advancement to catch up to give him the body that he now has. But over the course of that time, he was made to be convinced that Javi was the one who was responsible for Carl's family's death, and now he wants to come and take revenge. Presumably, this is a tactic by Truman to send an assassin after Javi, but we don't know the details, so that might come out in a future issue. Interesting fact about this particular issue is, where does this fall in the Spawnverse as far as the context of the greater Heaven-Hell War? The answer is we don't know. Well, or we know, but we don't know. We know that it's sort of happening in parallel, but it doesn't quite fit the way you would expect, because Javi is here and dealing with this new enemy and is in the physical plane here on Earth. But at the same time, in the main Spawn title, where the Heaven-Hell War is taking place, Javi is there and fighting along with Spawn, the Scorched, and everyone else. So the timelines don't quite work out. But if you get to the end of this issue, the prologue says all of it comes to a head in Spawn number 350, which will be coming out in a few weeks. And the consequences of the Heaven-Hell War will have a direct impact on this title and all the other Spawn-related titles. So it's weird that Javi's in two places at once when the same crossover event is happening, but that's just the way Image is doing it. I don't know. It's confusing and weird. And so if you're confused, I'm confused. We're all confused, and we're just going to go with it. What you get here, however, is cool stuff. So first impressions, what do we think about this issue? Carl has the potential to be a conflicted, sort of tragic villain, although he's effectively defeated in this issue. We won't spoil it too much about how that happens, but he does get defeated in this issue, at least for now. It's not clear if it's permanent or just temporarily, but he is defeated in this issue. Gunslinger Spawn recognizes his limitations as far as the amount of power he has to draw on from his necroplasmic power to be able to do what he needs to do to defeat Carl, and he uses a unique trick that I think is kind of interesting, kind of cool. It looks good. And then at the last moment, it's a big wow moment, a big splash page wow moment. in the fight between Carl and Gunslinger to end the fight, and it looks fantastic. So overall, it's a nice issue. It doesn't blow you away. You really don't get you get a lot of Carl's background, but you don't get what he's trying to achieve or why he thinks Javi is responsible for his family's death. That sort of is kept as a throwaway comment, but it doesn't really kind of lead you into why he came to believe that, or what were the circumstances surrounding that belief. So it's just basically Gunslinger Spawn confronting a powerful villain and defeating him with some trickery. So it's an okay issue, not fantastic, won't blow you away, but it's an okay issue. So what do we like about it? This is all about the visuals and the fight. You get some cool action scenes. You get the appearance of some supporting characters who you're not used to seeing. So, and it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty darn cool. You get sort of shades of Ghost Rider there. I won't spoil it too much, but it looks pretty darn cool. Where the side characters, you can see from the preview images that some animals come to Javi's rescue to help him out. So it's all about the visuals. It's all about the spectacle. It's all about the fight, the cool costumes, and the cool scenery. What didn't we like about the issue? Generally speaking, I mean, there's just not much meat to it. You get this new villain who could be cool. There's a brief fight. Javi ends him I would say, pretty handily. And then you just kind of go on about your business with the prologue stating, oh, okay, well, everything is going to come to a head in Spawn 350, which is the culmination of the Heaven Hell War and the race to acquire Hell's throne, which is fine. But at the same time, this feels like a little bit of filler and just sort of killing time to get to the big finale of the war, which is not great if you're looking for something a little bit more meaty and substantive about Gunslinger when he's already fighting in the Heaven Hell War in parallel books, which seems a little odd. So quick word about the art. So this is Dexter Soy. And if you're looking at the preview pages on the video, if you're not, if you're just listening along, that's fine. But if you're watching the video, Dexter Soy's art is amazing. Amazing. I mean, just if we can keep Dexter Soy on the book for a very long time, everyone will be happy. I'm pretty sure everybody will be happy because the art is just so detailed. It's so imaginative, and it's so dramatically presented, especially with the colors from Ivan Nunes, who, for my money, is one of the best colorists around right now in the comics realm. The art is exquisite. You just can't do better than this. So, if the story is light, at least the art gives you everything that you could possibly want out of a Spawn comic. So it looks fantastic. So, final comments. What do we think about Gunslinger Spawn number 28? It's an okay issue. There's lots of great visuals, some great action, some imaginative battle developments, and then you get a little bit of the backstory about Carl and how he came to be in his present predicament, although there are some pieces missing there. So generally speaking, this was fine. But that's all it is. It's just fine. So therefore, we're going to give Gunslinger Spawn number 28 an 8 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed this review. But before you leave, please like, share, comment, subscribe to Comical Opinions. Hit that notification bell for more. And you have an awesome, great